These are a few of my favorite things. Kick it! Hey, thanks for clicking on this video. Hope everyone's having a great holiday season so far and has had a wonderful year. We're going to look really quickly back at Brian's Funhouse channel. I'm a YouTuber. I usually do Brian's Art for Animals as trade. I'm a zookeeper. I've been doing that for over 20 years. And just last year, I kind of turned this other channel into Brian's Funhouse. I watched a lot of videos of people talking about records and their toy collections and all kind of cool stuff. I've been watching YouTube more than real TV. And I figured, hey, I have a lot of junk. I might as well start blabbing about that. So I started this channel. I think I had 12 subscribers my first week, and now I'm just under 200 subscribers. So thanks for those. Be sure to subscribe, like, and all that stuff. It's just kind of fun to see how much this channel will grow. A little inches at a time, centimeters, actually millimeters. So throughout this last year, I put about 45 videos up on this channel. Go through the top 3 and see what you guys liked. Getting a little over 900 views was my Iron Maiden review for Senjutsu, their latest album. To be honest, I was really kind in that review because as I play it out more and more, it's not getting boring, but it just doesn't pack the punch as those songs start going on and on. So the last 4 or 5 songs are just, I need something more. I did buy a ticket to see Iron Maiden next year in concert, and I'm hoping it's a wonderful show. Number 2 was our cassettes coming back. Got a little over 1,200 views, and cassettes are something that I still purchase from time to time. It's obviously not my main format, that's LPs and then CDs, but it's interesting, and it's really interesting what people had to comment on that video about tapes. You know, there's a whole society that really loves tapes, so good for you guys. The top video was Walmart carrying the Metallica album. It was a huge topic earlier this year, a lot of controversy, and you know, should Metallica be sold at Walmart, and now the represses sounding good, are all represses coming a little crappier than original presses and all that kind of stuff. So Walmart versus Metallica got, like I said, over 5,000 views, and it was really interesting what people had to say about that. So I'm hoping to get a lot more views with the videos this year, have a lot more fun, a lot more things to talk about. Right now what I want to do is just go back throughout this past year and see what some of the music stuff that I bought, and then we'll go into toys and other. Not buying a lot of VHS tapes anymore. Sometimes we'll get a rare movie or something like that. But for music-wise, I love the band Berlin from the 80s. Terry Nunn, the singer there, is one of my early crushes. I love Now It's My Turn, No More Words. They have a great song. So this is a little snippet of a few of their live songs there. Like I said, cassettes, not really purchasing a lot. At one point, cassettes were my main way of listening to music, and then from friends I would get mixtapes and stuff, so I had tons, thousands of cassettes, and now I've slimmed down that collection to probably about 100 or so, and but I will purchase something if I guess kind of neat. So Peter Criss solo album there from when he was in Kiss, I got that on tape, got it at a flea market for like $0.25. CDs, I'm purchasing almost equal to LPs. The reason why I'm purchasing a lot of CDs, a lot of them I'm purchasing for $0.25 or $1. Like, I'm not paying that much for CDs, and it's got, you know, 10, 12 songs that I can put in my iTunes. I'll just show you a few here right off the bat. We got Defcon, a Chicago band. I think originally they were maybe from Ohio or something, and it came. This is a band that was really popular in the late 80s in the Chicago area, playing a lot of the clubs here. And they just, I think they had like 2 cassette tapes that they put out, and years later they put out, or album label put out for them all their songs on CD. I was happy to find that because that doesn't go for too cheap. Band TNT, a band that, you know, they'll get slammed in with the hair bands and hair metal of the 80s. Great band, great band. And I was able to find one of their later albums on CD. Band Zebra, another killer band that I love. This isn't found too often on CD. I have the LP, was able to find that on CD. And last but not least, I actually, reading comments from other people like, hey, do you like this? And some, I found out someone was talking about Smashy Pumpkins, and they talked about this band Zwan, which has Billy Corgan and the drummer from Smashy Pumpkins in it. And it is a great album. If you were just to play this, you would think that Smashy Pumpkins released some mysterious, excellent album. And it is, I think it came out in 2003 is what it's saying here. And it's one of my favorite albums I've heard about this year. I'm surprised I didn't hear about it in 2003 when it actually came out, but it is it's a good one. So on. Other things, I actually got this book. I like posters of concerts and stuff like that. So this one's from one of my favorite bands, obviously, Rush. And it's just got all their concert posters. I don't know if it's every single one. That's probably not going to fit in this book, but it's just a lot of cool cool show. So I'm anxious to look into this and seeing if the shows that I went to are in there. All right, for LPs, favorite thing to talk about. And from the views of the videos, looks like one of your favorite things to watch is talk about LPs. So I got from Flagomali Swagger. This is the 20th anniversary. Yikes. I remember this came out, I got it on promo CD. I was still reviewing music for Punk Planet at the time, and I got this in a promo CD, and it blew me away because I was just listening to, like, you know, I'd get promos from pop punk, and it was the same thing over and over. And then this band is really great. And then I found out the singer is actually a singer that I liked in his previous band called Fastway, and they were a heavy metal band. So it was kind of neat. Face to Face, this is, if everyone likes Green Day and the whole pop punk explosion, you have to love Face to Face. This album, in a perfect world, would have went platinum. It's a great, catchy, I guess, pop punk album. Came out 94, 95-ish, and this is a repress of it. Got it on CD when it came out, and so happy to find a repressed version on vinyl. Of course, like I said, Rush, one of my favorite bands. I will collect any of their albums if I see it. This is a 12-inch single. 12-inch singles usually came out in the UK. Here in the United States, we got 7-inch single, the 45s we call them. This is for New World Man. I was happy to add that to my collection. Walked into a record store and saw this on the wall. You know, obviously the more expensive albums are on the wall. This was a little more pricey, but I want to say it was only like $40, so it wasn't too bad. It was cheaper than it usually lists for if you look up, you know, how much albums are worth and stuff like that. But a band from Illinois, Hum, You'd Prefer an Astronaut. They had a song called Stars, and that was their big, like, MTV alternative hit. But it's a great album, great band. Hum, happy to find that. The reason why that's a lot, I think, when that came out, CDs were primarily, you know, the format you got music on, so it was hard to find an album. Same kind of with this one, Jesus Jones Perverse. Got it out CD when it came out. Big fan of Jesus Jones, and you know, 93 LPs were sold overseas a lot, but not too much in the United States, so I had to track this down on LP. And something I got just weeks ago, Kiss Destroyer. Is it the 45th? Yeah, the 45th anniversary of Destroyer. Happy to have that. Thinking with the Kiss theme. Earlier this year, I got Paul Stanley in Soul Station. I actually love this. His voice, you know, sometimes people say, it's kind of shot, it's worn down, but on this album, on the Soul Station album, it's nice and smooth. It fits in there. He does some classics. He even wrote a few songs that sound just like soul classics. It all fits in. It's a really cool listen. This was the year of bands from the Chicago area coming out with new music, and all of them are excellent. I'm like a cheerleader for the Chicago music scene. Not so much current music scene, because I really don't know a lot of the newer, smaller local bands, but for sure, 20-some years ago, big time cheerleader for that scene. And bands still kicking it today, of course, from Chicago. Cheap Trick put out this one. I want to do a, In Another World it's called, I want to do a review on that one. Rise Against put out their Nowhere Generation LP. Got that one signed when they were doing a new store. Styx, Crash of the Crown. Still have to listen to it. I only played this one twice, but I really liked it. I am, like I said in the last video, and this video, I'm going to review all 4 of these albums and pick which band did themselves the most by putting out the new album, like which album sounds coolest out of all of them. And of course, when we talk about Chicago, we got to talk about their punk legends, Naked Ray Gun. They just put out this one. And this one, I can't stop playing this one. This is growing. It's one of these albums that are more times you play it, the more times you love it, and that's when an album becomes a classic. That one's Over the Overlords from Naked Ray Gun. For LPs, I was able to cross off a Holy Grail. Holy Grail is an album that you really want. It's on your list. You don't think you're ever really going to find. I was up in Toronto and walked into a record store, and they had an original pressing of Dear You from the pop punk alternative, whatever you want to call them, emo band Jawbreaker. And this is the original, because they did repress that. This is the original kind of blue vinyl pressing of that. I was really happy to find that. It wasn't cheap. It was like 80 US, but sometimes when you find a grail, it's like you gotta weigh. Do I really want to pay that, even though that's what it's going for, or do I want to sit back and think I'm never going to find it again? For Jawbreaker, I knew no way in hell I was probably going to find this again. So pulled the trigger on that. Alright, that's for music. Let's go look at the toys really fast that I got this last year. From the Black Series, a Stormtrooper helmet. I don't know if my head's too big, but it has a thing where you can put it on your head and talk like a Stormtrooper, but it really doesn't talk like a Stormtrooper, and my head shape does not do this thing right, so I just have it sitting around. That's kind of what I got it for. I didn't really purchase it so I can go walking around like pretending I'm a Stormtrooper. I got it just so I can see it. And this is the Stormtrooper helmet you'll see in New Hope, the original Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. This just takes me back to being a kid, and it was probably the favorite character I loved when I first saw the original 3 Star Wars, and so it's kind of neat owning the helmet there. Something I was happy to pick off of eBay is Star Snoopy. Of course, a Star Wars knockoff, but is Peanuts and Snoopy. I love that stuff. That's probably 78, and it's a color form, so it's kind of neat. It's got all the little pieces to it, and not that I'm going to play with it, and not that any of this stuff sticks anymore, but I don't know. I just like Snoopy, so I was happy to get that on eBay. Got these Warriors figures this year. One of my favorite movies, one of the favorite soundtracks of all time. Joe Walsh song "In the City" is used perfectly at the ending of this movie. So I was really happy to get these Warrior figures here. This year I found Buck Rogers, was able to add him to the collection of my Buck Rogers action figures. Speaking of space, was also able to add a few figures to my Battlestar Galactica. Of course, that is from Clash of the Titans, this guy right there. But everything else is from Battlestar Galactica. Was really happy to add a lot of figures. Got this Cylon thing there. That's a newer item that came out, but really cool looking. Was able to complete all the glasses too from Battlestar Galactica. Passed it up at a toy show, but thanks for eBay, I was able to get it for a good price. Conan the Barbarian, the Pitfire Conan from NECA, which has been just making some great toys lately. And last but not least, I got my Scout Walker in the box. Was able to get him at a place called Pastimes Collectibles in Chicago here, and was able to kind of create a little tribute shelf to The Empire Strikes Back. Also this year was able to add to my lunchbox collection, which hang up high in the rafters, but was able to get Battlestar Galactica to go with Buck Rogers. Was able to get Planet of the Apes to go with Clash of the Titans. Was able to get a few more hockey pucks this year to add to my little hockey puck collection, but last but not least, the item that I'll show you is an autograph 2020-21 induction celebration by Doug Wilson of Blackhawks and Marian Hossa by the Blackhawks. And that should do it. Thanks for watching.